已过，命亦随减。如少随鱼，是有何乐啊？有时间才能成就一切。过了一天，我又少了一天啊！
释迦如来，释迦如来。
In January, heavy rain in Indonesia flooded the city of Manado. The city is over 2,000 miles from its capital, Jakarta. After flying 6 hours on military planes, volunteers held distributions and free clinics. Trust has come from over 20 years of hard work. This year, Siji signed a memorandum with the Indonesian military.
Hal ini saya katakan karena sejumlah karya nyata dan sentuhan budi suci telah berhasil mewujudkan kesadaran sosial. Rasa-rasa orang memenangi.
The Cash for Relief program has helped more than 8,000 people rebuild their homes. Indonesia is the most populous Muslim country. Using the Buddha's compassion, Siji crosses religious and racial lines. January marked the 20th anniversary of relief in northern Thailand. In 1994, the Taiwanese government asked Siji to take over veterans relief in northern Thailand.
我没有讲几句话，上人就说我们来接，让我非常的感动，非常的感动。
In 1995, Siji began its relief program in northern Thailand. Volunteers held agricultural seminars, rebuilt 4 villages, and have continued to visit senior veterans monthly for the past 20 years.
感谢我们的上人，感谢师兄师姐，给我们几年，这个几年不容易了，不容易。
Volunteers saw the challenges faced by local schools in the villages. Siji built its first school overseas so local children could escape poverty.
我在慈济学校学到怎么当一个帮助别人的人。
爱的环境在这里成长。I will tell you, I will always love you. ขอบคุณครับ
In February, Malaysian volunteers performed the Dharma boat. Siji has been in Malaysia for 20 years. In the last year, with Master's blessing, its members have grown to over 1 million.
百万难呐，还有第二个百万。
With 1 million volunteers, everywhere is a spiritual training ground.
几块钱可以做善事，
帮助那些灾民。
In schools, factories, and markets.
好康嘅波學第一制咯。
At birthdays.
不用帶生日禮物，因為我要募款。
Volunteers become a family as they recycle at a Hindu temple. Volunteer Wu Xiumei encourages others to join.
我參先嚇，被他的熱心打動了。
這個菜市場啊，有98%是我們慈濟的會員。
Despite living with cancer, some continue their cultivation.
無常要來，我也不知道。要幫你邀請快陣走。百萬好菩薩。Go find him.
In March, Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 vanished en route to Beijing. The 239 people on board disappeared. Time seemed so long that they were counted in minutes and seconds. Instantly, families and friends separated without goodbye. That day, volunteers provided help and comfort in 3 different places. at the airline's customer service center, at the Kuala Lumpur airport, and some even traveled to Beijing.
真的是不知道无常什么时候到，但是我不能在他们面前流泪。
In 2007, Malaysia Airlines and Tzu Chi signed a memorandum. Master said, "We must use empathy to soothe and comfort. Comfort brings the warmth of love. Kneeling shares in the pain. Embracing calms the heart."
Thank you, a big thank you to Tzu Chi Buddhist Foundation. Not just here in KL, but also in Beijing.
Volunteers in Malaysia and Beijing work together to translate, fill out forms, take passport photos, and apply for visas. They also provided tea and hot meals.
我很感谢你们，对我来说就是我的生命，给我们安慰。
Everyone prayed for compassionate thoughts. Great love unites us all. Tzu Chi began its work in China with flood relief in 1991. It has been planting the roots of the 4 missions and the 8 footprints for over 20 years.
慈济用善放低了自己的姿态，来帮助我们。
In 2013, Tzu Chi provided relief for the Lushan earthquake.
台湾慈济基金会第一时间对我县伸出援助之手。开播。
2014, Tzu Chi began the Hope Project to rebuild schools from the quake's damages. Patients at Fuding Hospital were also touched by Tzu Chi. In 1996, Typhoon Herb ravaged China. Tzu Chi provided assistance in constructing the Fuding Hospital. This year marks its 10th anniversary. Yang Hongsai suffered from pemphigus during pregnancy. She received treatment at the hospital in 2005. She recovered and gave birth to a healthy baby.
感谢慈济龙，感谢医生，感谢护士。
Those with gratitude will always have great love. They also have the most sincerity and affection.
宣誓，奉献给护理事业。
Volunteers provided medical assistance on Yushan Island via free clinics. This dedication comes from Taiwan.
从来不敢想的是，在26岁的这个年龄里，发生了奇迹。
Chen Tuanzhi was born with congenital genu recurvatum, a rare condition. Volunteers in China accompanied her to Tzu Chi Hospital in Hualien for treatment. After 7 bone surgeries, life has changed. Volunteers helped care for her.
把别人对我那个爱一定要永远记在心里，然后把那份爱一直传下去。
Honorary Superintendent Cheng Yinghe demonstrated how she should walk.
外出了呢，要外出呢。
After 26 years, she took her first step in Hualien, Taiwan.
In April, Tzu Chi celebrated its 48th anniversary with a global Dharma assembly. Participants joined in online from all over the world. The story of the bamboo bank is the essence of the Tzu Chi spirit. When the Buddha is on our minds, every thought stays on the path. As we meditate through action, every step is on the path.
慈济需要是顾全世界。谢谢大家。
Directors from around the world gathered for Tzu Chi's annual board meeting.
世界上有许多的人都是饥渴，都是缺乏水道量，所以我们要马上提供上人的法。
When people's hearts and minds are united in harmony, great strength arises.
我们来不及 whereby 671 can be 671 contributing volunteers.
We must take the Dharma to heart and put it to work.
佛说人有20难，我们熏法香就有8难。记得有一次，我就听不懂上人在讲 统一，施工就不好讲，土耳其啦。全球每日平均人数最高的社区道场新加坡分会第6名。
As the bells ring, people gather for the morning Dharma talk. Though volunteers all over the world live in different time zones, there is no time difference online. People around the world have adjusted their lifestyles to make time for the talk. Their minds turn toward the abode as if to make pilgrimage. Neither wind nor rain can stop them. Huang Zhunian is a 6-year-old boy who is also committed.
我想给施工上人看到我这样子，直到不能再直了。
要让施工看到，直到不能直哈。哎呀，真的好可爱呀
！Junyan encouraged 7 classmates to join too. Yang Qinghuo has listened to the Dharma talk for 8 years and has taken 18 notebooks of notes. As he takes them, he also takes in the wondrous teachings. He now writes with the Dharma in mind. In May, the Buddha bathing ceremonies took place in roughly 40 countries and regions. More than 363,000 people participated.
Buddha can teach me everything in my life.
They cultivated blessings and wisdom, with palms together and hearts united. With dignity, truth, kindness, and beauty were expressed.
All the religions also come together.
Each circle formed with hearts and steps united.
Little drops of water make the mighty ocean. But if we don't start with somewhere, we'll never get anywhere.
With determination, some ceremonies were held in harsh conditions. They walk around the Buddha with a vast and open heart. They lit up like lanterns. They showed love and gratitude for their parents, putting filial piety into practice.
Nagpapasalamat po ako. Nagawa ko po ito kay Mama.
In June, a winter distribution was held in South Africa. The Taiwan Council of Agriculture gave 7,300 tons of rice to Tzu Chi. Including those in Africa, they were distributed to 9 countries. Tzu Chi volunteers in South Africa traveled to Swaziland. They made a 1,200-kilometer round trip to mobilize locals to volunteer.
Master Chen Yuan has taught us, love is borderless. We are a family.
In 2014, Tzu Chi volunteers in South Africa traveled more than 2,000 kilometers round trip and went to Botswana for the first time.
We are a global family.
Altogether, Tzu Chi brought their love to 6 countries in Africa and practiced the 6 perfections. In Mozambique, they distributed rice and promoted filial piety. They also explained the bamboo banks. Farmers of the land harvest their crops, while farmers of the spirit cultivate hearts. In the Machache community in Lesotho, villagers donated 20% of each meal. They gave 1,000 kilograms of corn and grains, which were ground into flour. Among their community, their spirits were wealthiest.
I'm from Taiwan, really from Taiwan.
At a 6-day volunteer training conference in Zimbabwe, volunteers from 10 cities studied together. Volunteer Zhu Jingchai made his home the spiritual training ground. African volunteers worked under harsh conditions, just like when the Tzu Chi Foundation first started. South African volunteers shared the spirit of love in the rain, and everyone united to join Tzu Chi. In Swaziland, a garage was the spiritual training ground. Audio controls and speakers were on the trunk of a car. In Mozambique, canvas cloth was used as a projection screen. In Lesotho, rocks were used as chairs as they talked about Tzu Chi in the great outdoors. Volunteers from Africa held trainings across different nations with unwavering resolve. They live with poverty, yet they have wisdom and Dharma joy in their hearts of gold. At the same time, Master Zheng Yan traveled around Taiwan. Her heart went out to the volunteers who sorted trash and recyclables under filthy conditions. She then pushed the campaign for recycling education to restore our earth. Trash should not mean that we pick up after others. They should be sorted and then recycled. We must teach people the principle of recycling and educate people on the hard work of our volunteers. Even at the very end, many have vowed to recycle. Recycling volunteers sow blessings. There are more than 100,000 of them at 7,000 recycling centers around the world.
In July, 3 airline disasters occurred in a week. Planes from both Malaysian Airlines and Air Algeria crashed. A plane from TransAsia Airways also crashed in Penghu, Taiwan. On that day, Tzu Chi volunteers mobilized to pray, comfort, and set up care centers. At the hospital, volunteers comforted the wounded. At the airport, they comforted family members. In Penghu, they brought peace to people's minds.
真的心很安，因为看到慈济的师兄师姐过来。
谢谢你们，谢谢你们。
感同身受家属的苦。尽一点我们的心力，哪怕是一份祝福，我都愿意。
Financial assistance was given to the victims' families and those who were injured. Each family was visited and invited to the prayer ceremony.
人傷我痛，人苦我悲。
We must transform fear into blessings and turn trauma into great love. A loud boom shook the skies and earth. On July 31st, 2014, gas pipelines exploded in Kaohsiung. That very night, volunteers mobilized to bring comfort to both Kaohsiung residents and the Penghu plane crash victims. Volunteers comforted and cared for the victims. They provided financial assistance.
很感恩，我总觉得慈济已经帮我最大的忙了。
TIMA, Tzu Chi's International Medical Association, held a free clinic. Staff headed south to help. That was the first day of relief in Kaohsiung. Tzu Chi stayed until the end of August.
人家一定会说你们都是救国外什么的，可是自己感受就是。 慈济是我坚持最久的哎，
我真正绝对有感动的老目屎。我在困苦的时阵，在困难都有慈济。
Tzu Chi volunteers showed their empathy by distributing lunchboxes.
出来，我连续4、5天拢无，我们食恁煮这便当，所以我足感谢你的，这个感谢你的支持。
They also make home visits to bring peace and comfort.
你们真是有心、用心、爱心，通通来。你也有心。
Physical roads were paved for safe travel. The Bodhisattva path brings peace to people's minds. Maps were drawn on cardboard and love didn't stop on rainy days. Volunteers visited each family to give blessings and love. Master has said that when people can sense your sweetness, they will feel no suffering. Volunteers worked in shifts or took days off work and dedicated themselves to comfort others. They brought calm and peace to Kaohsiung until people were no longer shaken.
你家你的心内话，你家讲互伊听袂要紧，
我心内话我要安怎？
For 48 years, Tzu Chi has safeguarded Taiwan, a home for all of us. Taiwan's most valuable resource is the love and kindness of its people. Grandpa Lin Suan is 81 years old. Usually, he makes about $3 a day selling recyclable goods. At the prayer ceremony in Kaohsiung on August 31st, we witnessed great love in Taiwan.
就像看到自己的家人、自己的亲人，给高雄市最大的协助。
那我就在家里画了这一幅慈济人三多和送温馨。
慈济便当吃几天？
我总共吃了30天。
哇，30天呢！好，
Sincerity
谢谢。
brings harmony. Integrity creates blessings. In September, Paraguayan doctor Juan Meza's diabetes worsened. He needed hemodialysis. He couldn't afford the flight to the conference, so volunteers helped him to travel to Taiwan to be there for TIMA's annual conference.
我飞行了50个小时来到花莲，这是第6次来花莲。纵然是我的身体不好，但是我还是要继续做仁义的工作。
When we eliminate suffering and bring joy to others, our hearts are as full and as clear as the moon.
In October, Tzu Chi volunteers from 8 European countries went to Bosnia to host a distribution. They crossed the borders of 4 countries and spent 12 hours to travel more than 800 kilometers. Bosnia was hit with its worst flood in 100 years, and local officials requested aid from Tzu Chi. Volunteers assessed the flood damage under challenging conditions. What cannot be damaged, though, is great love.
Different nation, different religion, Serbs, Muslim, and Croats. And all of 3 of them are here together in the same room. They will receive help from Tzu Chi.
"2014 was Tzu Chi USA's 25th anniversary. It's been a quarter century of compassion since 1989. It is Tzu Chi's first chapter established overseas.
上人就只给了8个字，就是自力更生，就地取材。
Tea gatherings were held, where volunteers talked about Tzu Chi. Tzu Chi USA first started with charity and disaster relief. The first free clinic opened in 1993, and in 2000, the first medical mobile clinic began its service. Humanistic education is spread via the Happy Campus program and 23 Tzu Chi academies. In 2014, the first education campus opened in the town of Walnut, California. The event also marked the Education Foundation's 20th anniversary.
这个种子，我相信会发扬得更广。那把这个爱呢传给大家，我们的世界会更好。
In November, volunteers in Jordan distributed rice to those in need.
This is the real love that Master Chenian gave the members to transfer to the whole people.
This love was also passed on to the Syrian refugees there. Volunteers worked with TIMA to hold free clinics and distributions. Volunteers from Turkey invited refugees to help with making care packs for their Syrian brothers.
阿拉伯文的谢谢 ，shukran shukran shukran， 用2手给他们。
In Chinese, Arabic, and Turkish, they read Master's letter with respect.
在这最艰难的时刻，能给各位保暖的贴心感受与人间互助互爱的温度。
Bu zor dönemde herkesin kalbini ısıtabilmek için hazırlanmıştır. وفوق أرض نعيش أسرة وعائلة كأن وحدة ونحن الآن في شهر تشرين ثاني وعلى أبواب فصل الشتاء.
شكرا. They distributed blankets to help refugees survive the cold. It was also Tzu Chi Philippines' 20th anniversary. On November 8, 1994, the Philippine chapter was established, where they ran a free clinic with little supplies. Cultivating communities, they established free health and ophthalmology clinics and a prosthetic center. After Typhoon Ketsana in 2009, Tzu Chi started a large-scale cash for relief program for the first time. They hired local residents to clean up their communities. On November 8, 2013, the same day as Tzu Chi Philippines' 19th anniversary, Typhoon Haiyan hit the country. Tzu Chi sent aid from abroad. Over 40 countries around the world donated good thoughts and love. With the Cash for Relief program, they cleaned up their homes. In 19 days, nearly 300,000 participants joined. Through mid- and long-term assistance, they helped build prefabricated classrooms and houses. Sent to the Philippines with love from Taiwan.
Thank you very much for everything that you helped. We love you so much.
Through the Cash for Relief program, they constructed classrooms and homes.
You shared your blessings to us.
Great strength comes from unity, and great aspiration arises from sharing others' hopes.
And then, how God provided us with this place.
Without enough materials, Master had an idea. Bamboo-based blocks replaced steel with bamboo. It received a gold medal at the annual Innova Invention Show.
I saw in you help us a lot without any return.
Tzu Chi became an international role model. The President of the Philippines thanked the volunteers. Haiyan turned lives upside down, but disaster also gave them a new beginning. (2014) was the Tzu Chi Education Mission's 25th anniversary. 4 schools celebrated with sign language performances of the Sutra of Infinite Meanings. One can give rise to the infinite, while the infinite can arise from one. The mission helped found the Tzu Chi College of Technology in 1989 and the Tzu Chi University in 1994. By 2000, its mission ranged from preschool to university. Even in 2007, the Tzu Chi Senior High School opened in Tainan. Tzu Chi's humanistic education has worked to impress both manners and strong virtue deep in children's hearts. Volunteers' work is inspired by the suffering of others while realizing one's own blessings. Guidance is provided with compassion, sincerity, and ethics. Sutra performances promoted filial values and good deeds. Even organ donors are silent role models.
一定要好好的、认真的努力学习，然后不可以对不起大体老师。
他就是希望我们当一个好医生的。
有心有能力可以去帮助别人，然后不要辜负老师。
Tzu Chi Education has grown over 25 years to educate more than 37,000 students. Master says we should follow our principles, so whatever we do will bring joy to the people around us.
努力的爬起来，才有办法来寻法想。大脑像个仓库，放很多不好的东西，就像是大脑里放炸弹就会爆炸。如果放很多善的东西，大脑就会很好，然后就会心想好意。有时候会觉得很累，可是师公上人说不要懈怠，要精进。现在还是清晨，天还没有亮，而且你又怕鬼，你敢走过去吗？我就想师公去听师公听法上，应该会有菩萨在旁边保佑我，没有什么好怕的。
时间唯一可以表达的就是来不及。
的确，时间的名词最好的解说是来不及，要把握当下。